Juno was mad, he knew he'd been hacked, so he shot at the sun with a gun. Shot at the sun with a gun. Shot at his wily one, only friend.
In the gallows or the ghetto, in the town or the meadow, in the billows, even over the sun, every end of a time is another begun. You understand mechanical hands, or the ruler of everything. Ruler of everything. I'm the ruler of everything. In the end.
We've been here before. A few times, in fact. We've seen the world of remakes and reimagines from Treyarch a few times now, but it's not often that they improve upon the original experience. I mean, I'll just let Blood of the Dead and Togdertoten speak for themselves. You see, July of 2009, we were introduced to the map of Numa on World at War. Zombies truly got its start here. Our four iconic heroes made their first appearance, hellhounds were the cause of millions of kids' nightmares, traps were becoming bigger and better, the atmosphere and story building was quickly ramping up, and the Wonderwaff. Oh my, the Wonderwaff. Life was good then. Life was good in 2010 when my dad bought me the Black Ops 1 Collector's Edition for Christmas because I was a spoiled little shit, and I got the remastered World at War maps as soon as I entered in the code and got to experience Numa all over again. Life wasn't only good then. Life was good the summer of 2017, when Zombies Chronicles was released to all Zombies fans on the best COD Zombies experience to date, Black Ops 3. And you already know, Numa? Yeah, that was a part of that package. In case you just can't see the correlation here, where there is Numa to be played, there is a day to be made. Numa itself is a masterfully crafted map focused on the philosophy and design of simple yet effective. The design itself when compared to other zombie maps is very much so 2009, but it allows me to feel that just for a brief moment, life is good just one more time. You see, when life was shit in my late teens, a good friend of mine told me a quote that he cared a lot about, and once he told me, it actually stuck with me as well. That quote being, "If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there." After taking the time to play Duran Feng and Terramella Dickass, my hopes for Treyarch making a great map was slim to none. My dreams crushed and my favorite mode that's taken over a decade to care so deeply about was being shit on right all over just in front of my eyes. I've said it before that Treyarch has lost me, that there was nothing here for me, and that I'd be shocked if there was anything here for you. But 8 months later, and here it is. That thing that might be here, not just for me, but for us. Treyarch has the opportunity to win us back. To take me to the glory days, the same glory days July 2009, December 2010, and summer of 2017 all provided me with. After consistent failures from Treyarch, they were terrified to take a risk. They didn't know where they were going with the mode, and it was obvious. But if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. Any road will take you to Numa. As much as I'd love to say I'm a man of consistency, well, yeah, my upload schedule would say otherwise. But for this one time, I'll make an exception. I'll stay consistent. When last talking about Vanguard Zombies, I said I wouldn't cover the mode anymore unless they dropped a banger round-based map. And what can I say? I'm here. Aren't I? So while on the conversation about being consistent, I'll be reviewing this Zombies experience the same way I did Duran Feng, the 6 pillars of a COD Zombies map, but in this case, it's rebranded as the 6 chapters of a COD Zombies experience. Chapter 1, the map and layout. 2, the characters. 3, the wonder weapons. 4, the Easter eggs. 5, the gameplay and atmosphere. And finally 6, replayability. So what do you say? For old time's sake, let's dive straight into Numa, focusing first on the map and layout. The map and layout is damn near the exact same as it has been the last decade, right? Spawn in the shit shack, which will act as your central hub connecting all of the branches of the map. Each branch is located in one of the 4 corners of the map, which will all lead to a randomized perk, potential box location, some wall buys, and traps, and in this case, Easter egg steps. In addition to those, Vanguard introduced a new location in Numa. The dig site. The dig site is located between the comm room and storage hut. This new area holds the pack-a-punch, which we will discuss a little bit more later in the gameplay section. This area acts as a seamless transition between the 2 branches. It's the most open part of the map and is the most viable area to train zombies in. Honestly, I do think that this is genuinely like an amazing addition to the map, but I feel like it isn't enough. How I would go about fixing this is by adding a second new section on the complete opposite side of the map, combining the fishing hut and doctor's quarters. This would allow for more original and innovative map design potential, but also a more symmetrical design, combining the areas that are still tedious to travel between. If creating another new location on the map would just be too much work, I would honestly love to see a form of fast travel between these 2 locations exist. Whether it's in the form of a portal, or a minecart, or a boat, or whatever the fuck, I think it would be a great addition. Though I don't have too much to say about the map and layout, I genuinely think that this is nothing but an improvement on the original map's layout. It's new, it's exciting, it's a fun area to train in that is big enough for a full team to be in the area and still train zombies while not feeling overwhelmed. It still feels like the original Numa, and it gives more reason to visit each branch of the map. If you like the previous iterations of Numa's layout, I think that this one is pleasantly refreshing, and you will probably enjoy it. The map and layout get an 8 out of 10. Just like a blonde white girl who only listens to Machine Gun Kelly, they have no personality. Look, I know this issue is not only exclusive to Vanguard. In fact, it's better in Vanguard than it was in Cold War. But when given an opportunity to improve on one of Cold War's biggest mistakes, Vanguard still has not introduced characters worth giving a shit about. Yes, I know, you have Belikar and Syraxis and the other elemental Dark Ether characters, but this is the same map that back in World at War introduced the most iconic group of 4 characters in all of gaming. Dempsey, Takio, Richthofen, and Nikolai all made their debut in Numa, and it truly built the personality and future direction of Call of Duty Zombies. Numa is just another map that was building on the foundation of Nocturne and Toten. But don't underappreciate just how much that map did for the world building, the story, characters, and us, the player. Look, when I think back to the glory days of when I was a kid playing sick every morning so I could stay home from school and play zombies, a huge part of the days I actually got off was the time I spent laughing at those character quotes. Dempsey's iconic lines about freak bags and hating Richthofen and Nikolai's hatred for dogs truly made more memories than I experienced on both Verrucht and Nocturne and Toten. It sounds stupid, I know, I get it. Like, just take off the fucking nostalgia goggles, you jackass, and objectively review the map. I know that's what you're thinking, right? But hear me out. Is any of Black Ops 1 Zombies complete without the characters and cast we experienced the game with? Are any of the maps half as memorable? I mean, you spend possibly hundreds of hours on each map, and though you may be playing alone in your room being neglected by your parents, you are not actually alone. Because you had these characters keeping you interested, keeping you invested, motivated, laughing. No matter how alone you were always playing as a character with such a huge personality that you never felt alone. Characters set the tone of the map just as much as the atmosphere does. Imagine our iconic Ultimus crew who is nothing but stereotypes in a serious map like Mob of the Dead. It would completely destroy the vibe of the map. So when you have a map that feels and looks alive, but you have horribly bland and dry personalities for characters that you play as, of course the map is going to suffer from it. The tone can't be carried by the characters. It's awful. I'm desperate for Treyarch to give me a new crew to care about. I really fucking miss giving a shit about characters in this mode, man. But 2 games in a row, and they've let me down. They've completely fumbled the bag. I know all good things come to an end. I know Premice's story has concluded, but I thought every ending led to a new beginning. Well, this beginning is fucking dog shit, bro. Fuck off with your operators. Give me some fucking characters with personality, bro. Like, what the fucking hell? Are you fucking kidding me? Characters get a fucking 1 out of 10, dude. There ain't shit to give a fuck about. They say imitation is the best form of flattery. What they don't tell you is what happens when the imitator does it better than the original. Some may point fingers at Treyarch and call them lazy and unoriginal. I mean, I've done it before. But look here and let me tell you something. If you are going to imitate such an iconic wonder weapon, something as iconic as the Wonder Waff, you better fucking do it right. And they did. Vanguard's iteration of the Wonder Waff not only looks absolutely beautiful with its materials, its textures, its designs, it is genuinely the most fun the gun has ever been. Okay, maybe there's an argument for World at War's Wonder Waff, but my god, this gun is still just so much fun in Vanguard, especially when comparing it to Black Ops 1's iteration, Black Ops 3's, and Black Ops 4. Black Ops 3 and 4 both having the weakest versions of the Wonder Waff we have seen yet. I'm not quite sure where Treyarch went wrong with the Wonder Waff in Black Ops 3, but it just didn't feel right. Maybe it was the hit detection, or the animation, or the delay between the electricity stringing together between zombies, but whatever it was, it didn't justify the fact that using the Wonder Waff in Black Ops 3 was less fun than when I fucked your mom last night. And as mentioned, it's tied with Black Ops 4's awful take on the Wonder Waff and Toten. See, I could give credit to Treyarch for trying to have an original take on the Wonder Waff and have it be a variant to the original while combining features with the original map's wonder weapon, the Scavenger. But man, Treyarch really missed the mark with whatever they were trying to achieve in Toten, because that gun is hardly even viable past round 20. The more ammo and less damage approach to the wonder weapons has hardly worked in the past, and I think they should keep that mentality. And thankfully for Numa Remastered, they did. And it's just such a good fucking update to the weapon, honestly. It's like it had its own redemption arc, I swear. So I get it, I praise Vanguard's Wonder Waff enough, but I do hope that any returning wonder weapons in the future are treated with as much respect as the Wonder Waff was. But to absolutely no one's surprise, the Wonder Waff is not the only wonder weapon in the map. Back in Season 2 with the launch of Terramella Dickleaf, Treyarch brought back the iconic zombie staple wonder weapon, something more iconic than the Wonder Waff. The ray gun. Yes, I have to say brought back, because if you have some brain cells left after playing any amount of Vanguard, then you would remember that somehow zombies did not launch with any sort of wonder weapon in the entirety of the zombies mode. Also, don't forget, we didn't even get a fucking Pack-a-Punch camo. It really was a new low for zombies, holy fuck. Anyways, the ray gun is back, but not better than ever. I think after the ray gun peaked in power in Cold War Zombies, it was obviously going to get a nerf, but goddamn, does the ray gun feel so incredibly weak compared to Cold War. It's kinda fun to use, and the gun itself does look incredibly detailed, and the character walking animation while holding the gun is just so satisfying to watch. But the gun itself is very unsatisfying to kill zombies with, but because the ray gun is not the star of the map, I'll let this pass. However, I do hope the ray gun sees a buff in the future, and having both weapons as options in Numa is a high note to end this segment off on. Wonder weapons are both viable, with the Wonder Waff stealing the spotlight and performing better than ever. Oh, by the way, the Wonder Waff has a buildable quest, while also being available from the box, which is always a plus one, so I give this a 9 out of 10. You know, it's kind of actually nice to talk about Easter eggs, because I sure as fuck didn't get to it in my last review. That's right, baby. Our Lord and Savior Treyarch actually put some fucking content in their map this time around. Holy shit. No longer is it just portal after portal after portal after portal. Thankfully, this time around there is not only a main quest, but some side quests as well. And you bet your sweet bippy I did them and got footage for this review. Well, okay, as of writing this script, I only did the main quest, but maybe I'll have footage up of the side quests. I don't fucking know yet, maybe. Diving balls deep into the main quest, I genuinely have nothing but good things to say about it. It strikes the balance of hard to solve and easy to replicate incredibly well. The Easter egg hunt took a few hours to solve, but with a guide up you could complete this bad boy in an hour or so. The Easter egg features building the Wonder Waff, exposing a tomb, finding parts around the map, converting ciphers, finding invisible ink and shit, sucking the fucking soul out of zombies outside the tomb, using mini-bosses to power different parts of different things, a boss fight, and a Microsoft Paint shot for a cutscene. But it's a cutscene nonetheless. And yes, all of those steps are in the wrong order, but who cares? This egg was kind of fun to complete, I won't lie. It had a little bit of everything and it was a nice small quest for a nice small map. Going into this, my expectations were so low. I mean, like, I would have expected a British person to actually have good hygiene before I expected this map to have a decent Easter egg. But sometimes, I like being proved wrong. I know this doesn't meet most people's expectations when we've had such grand quests before that actually felt like adventures. Sure, when comparing this Easter egg to Origins, Blood of the Dead, Grvxvity, Beast from Beyonds, Der Eisendrock, Raven the Redwoods, Buried, Zetsubos, Revelations, and pretty much every map Easter egg outside of Transit and Die Rise, it is for sure lacking and underwhelming, but after a year of kind of mediocre Easter egg quests from Cold War, and whatever the fuck Terramella Tight-Ass had, this Easter egg is a highlight among us. What? Is a highlight among us in the zombies community because of how dry the content has been. And though the cutscene is weak, at least they give us something, and I am learning to appreciate that, slowly but surely. There is also some side quests, one that involves collecting bunny parts for some points, another for a max ammo and Easter egg song, and if I'm not missing any, the last one is the original instrumental for The One. That was the theme song for the original Numa, of course. A ton of small and fun things to do just to flesh out the map a little bit more. I could go into more detail, but I don't think I need to, honestly. If you like shorter and easier Easter egg quests, then this one's for you. If you don't, well, you're shit out of fucking luck. But because this quest wasn't entirely impressive, I think it deserves a 6.5 in ranking, but wait. The Rampage Inducer. It has its own quest. It exists. My god, if this isn't the best fucking feature ever added to zombies, I truly don't know what is. Thank god this thing is back and it's super easy to get in the map. You shoot these lanterns in a specific order in a quick amount of time and it'll spawn right inside the spawn room. This feature alone makes that point ranking go from a 6.5 to a 7.5. You see, the gameplay in Vanguard Zombies as a whole is similar to that of a Macklemore concert. You'd rather kill yourself. There are so many awful things about Vanguard as a whole that translate into the gameplay of Numa. And even though it's not the map's fault in specific, it still suffers greatly because of it. Before I tackle the new stuff, I'll hit you with the same things I've hit you with before. The perk system is ass. And having each perk still costs 15,000 fucking points just for the base perk equivalent in other games is just degrading. Like, honestly, I might reevaluate my worth, not only because I played Vanguard, right, but because I also spent this much time reviewing the actual product and editing 2 videos on the mode and playing the fucking game itself. Considering the fact that if you have all 4 perks at tier 4 and you take it down, it'll cost 37,500 points to recover from that down. Who on earth thought that this was a good idea? And God forbid they add another fucking perk in the future because this price would just keep increasing. Recovering from a down in Numa is one of the most tedious gameplay loops I've ever experienced. Normally I'd fall into that get good kid mentality, but of course Vanguard has the most awkward hit detection from zombies out of any previous iteration of the mode. Not for when you hit them, but for when they hit you. Sometimes it looks like the zombies are so far away that there is no possible way they could land a hit on you, but yet you take damage. I don't know how else to explain this besides saying that most of the damage you take feels so undeserved and that I'm not in control of my own plays. Zombies should make you feel like every time you go down that it was 100% your fault for making a mistake, not because the game made a mistake, but this is just not the fucking case, man. For some reason, Treyarch also thought it would be a good idea to bring back that three-face cunt Zabella from Terramella Cumfuck, as well as the Zombussy boy with the minigun who absolutely just shreds your armor. So let's talk about these two enemies for a second, starting with the dude with the minigun. I think it's fair to assume most zombies players don't play zombies for things shooting back at them. If that's what I wanted, I'd be on multiplayer, but that's not valid criticism. Here's how I would change him and give actual feedback to Treyarch. Take away his minigun and instead replace that with a cannon type weapon similar to the Manglers. So because this weapon turns into a large area of effect, you should be able to dodge these projectiles by sliding or crouching before they get too close. That way he could still use a projectile weapon, but there is a much better way to counter it and keep the gameplay moving. For Zabella, I would increase her health. I would increase her health, but instead of being immune before she teleports, make her take a damage multiplier. So that way she goes down faster before she teleports instead of not taking damage at all. Or, just take out her ability to be immune and keep her the way she is, which in fact, as I was writing this script, Treyarch decided to do just that and get rid of her immunity. So look at me, paving the way for Treyarch's success. So besides these enemies and perks and shit, the wool weapons are back with the same feature of increasing pack-a-punch levels and rarity levels that Cold War had. I genuinely like this feature. I think it's great, and it actually gives a purpose into buying wall weapons again. The mystery box is back to being its rotating self nowadays. So after a few spins, the box will relocate around the map, but it seems like it's pretty much every 4 box hits it moves, which is just like, why move around so much? It's just so annoying. At this point, I'm nitpicking a bit, I know, so I'll move on to the atmosphere and talk more about that. I genuinely think that the atmosphere really just isn't that bad at all. I mean, it's no Origins or Mob of the Dead, but it's genuinely a step in the right direction for this game's aesthetic. I love that we get to see Numa at night and see all of the lanterns and candles around the map actually lit up and make the atmosphere a bit scarier than the original. However, this game lacks in ambience and in the horror sounds that the original had. There is hardly any zombie groans coming from outside the map, no people screaming, no eerie sound effects, just a lot of those small details seem to be missing. However, this could just be on my end, but if they are there, then I think Treyarch should make them a bit more noticeable. With that being said, atmosphere on its own would get about a 7 from me, but because we pair it with gameplay, it's just gonna have to get a 4.5. Not the worst, but far from the best. If you're looking for an absolute classic of a map with a nice, fun Easter egg that's very challenging, has a great atmosphere, is genuinely just so fun to play and experience, has a cool wonder weapon, is so fun to go for high rounds and holds a little bit of challenge, then look no further than literally every map on Black Ops 3. Because this just ain't it. The map's replayability relies on what you're looking for out of a map, and if you play solo or with friends. I don't see how anyone would actually have fun on this map solo. You've probably played it before, and yeah, sure, there's an Easter egg now, but after an hour or two of doing some half-decent steps, you finish it. Taking it down resets you so far back in progress. Gathering salvage takes absolute decades to buy a self-revive. You will be going against tedious enemies and pretty much only training in the new area of the map. There just isn't enough substance in this map to hold its own. There's no reason that this map should even exist, to be honest. And yeah, it's fun to play with friends, but I could watch an orphanage burn down, and as long as a friend is with me, I'd have a good time. So it's really just not saying much personally, but then again, this feels like it's more of Vanguard's engine as a whole rather than just Numa's. Using the ray gun and Wonderwaff is pretty much the most fun you'll have on this entire map because there just isn't many reasons to keep revisiting this. It doesn't have that longevity that so many other maps like Shadows of Evil have. Replayability is probably just a 5 out of 10 for me. If you have Vanguard, sure, you can play it and have some fun. But if you don't own Vanguard, definitely don't go buy it for this. Last time I reviewed Vanguard, I said I wouldn't touch it again unless they released a banger, round-based map. And I'm here. Aren't I? I'm here to shit on yet another poor attempt on capitalizing on my childhood nostalgia. Here to shit on the company that has time and again taken my hopes and fucked them raw. A company that is nothing but a shell of its former self. Treyarch, you put your fucking name on this product, but my god, have you done nothing but bring a disservice to those who have done nothing but support you and turn you into the developers you are. There is not an ounce of respect left between you and I, Treyarch. You won't get a grip on my balls now like the grip you had on them as I was a child. You won't lie to me any fucking more, because I am no longer that starry-eyed 16-year-old kid coming home from school every day to play zombies and experience something that was once amazing to me. I'm no longer blinded to your corporate greed, your corporate manipulation, your corporate bullshit no longer consumes me like it once did. The passion is gone. You've gone and wiped your fucking nasty ass taint with it and threw it at me under the description of a free update in a new zombies experience. New zombies experience, Treyarch? What the fuck do you mean? You absolute fucking speds. This is a cheap cash grab with fucking reused assets, motherfucker. You go from building some of the best co-op experiences in gaming to this inbred piece of skank, dude? All of the developers may be overworked, but I can certainly tell you that they are fucking retarded. They are lazy, uninspired, fucking leeches, ready to spread your legs and suck you fucking dry. You're a fucking vampire, Treyarch. You suck the fucking life out of everything you touch. You suck the passion and creativity out of all of your fans. You leave me here flaccid as fuck as I bleed out, waiting to suck the last fucking drop right out of me. You and I both know a thing or two about each other, Treyarch. You know that no matter how much you fuck me dry, I'll come back. I'll come back next year and the year after. I'll always be here for you, Treyarch. I'll always be waiting for what's next from you guys. Because I may not be that starry-eyed 16-year-old, but I'll be damned if I pass up an opportunity to feel like I am that same kid I was back then, even if it's just for a day. You're killing me slowly, Treyarch. But I'll never leave your side. I'm a victim. I'm a survivor. But I'm a fucking addict. And I won't stop coming back until I'm finally dead. But what is it I know about you, Treyarch? It's that I know you're lost. That you have no idea where the fuck your future is leading towards. That you'll just take whatever Activision says to make and just be another cog in the machine. But no matter what you put out, you'll never know where you're going. But if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
It's a